so fascinating because in a way you feel like media is trying to make up for its impotence during Iraq war. I don't know if you got that feeling, like during Iraq war we couldn't do anything, but now look, this is an invasion, and but now for once there is nobody holding us back, we can go because it's Russia, so we can go full out. So there's that, but at the same time the impotence is so exemplified in things like a State of the Union and the CPAC, because I think it's in the State of Union, Biden barely touches. I mean, he says Putin is going to be punished or blah, blah, blah. But in the CPAC, I mean, this is from New York Times. I'm not going to read from New York Times, so this is just a headline from New York Times. CPAC focuses on culture, grievances, and Trump. At CPAC, Ukrainian policy take a back seat to cultural grievances. The annual gathering of American conservatives reflected the GOP's shift. So as you see there, it's like these new conservatives, in a way, I like, not that I fucking hate Republican cultural conservatives, racists, majority of them. I mean, there are very few that are focused, on a multicultural nationalism. Okay, I love those guys. But majority of them are racist assholes and I don't like them. But my point is, David Frum, all these fucking parasites, some of them, by the way, Canadian, not even American parasites, that would feed off this sort of, your era is fucking over, you parasites. It's all about culture wars now. Nobody gives a shit about Ukraine or fucking Iraq or Afghanistan, Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, nobody gives a shit. It's all about the culture wars now. It's all about, the enemy within. So your era has come to an end, motherfuckers, and I can't be more glad about it.
So you mean politicians don't give a shit, like segments of some politicians?
Politicians are a reflection of people, and people are a reflection of the
but this no, I just want to get concrete reality to what this article is saying, because it's a very interesting observation. No, but it's a very interesting observation, right? I didn't watch his State of the Union either, but also if CPAC didn't, focus on a lot of this. I mean, I think it's an interesting observation, so I wanted to just...
No, it is. And I didn't read this article, but the other article that I wanted to read off from, and I found it to be an interesting glimpse into it. So I think it covers about the same thing. So I think it does answer your question. The article is from The Atlantic, The New Republican Battle Cry by Franklin Foer, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. What's quote unquote awake, not woke, reveals about GOP. So I found this interesting, very interesting, because it sort of goes over, it refers to a Russian thing as well. Let's start. The right-wing media personnel, but just before I start, besides if it's a right article, the points are right or wrong, it was very well written article and a fucking fantastic fun read. So check it out. The right-wing media personality Candace Owens wants to warn the conservative movement about horny bears. Okay. In fact, she's been waiting for 5 years to relay a factoid she promised will unlock everything. Strolling the stage at Orlando's Rosen Shingle Creek Resort, Owens finally has her chance to address the true believers who have come to the annual Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, and she's going to seize the moment. Nature, she says, is not the pleasant place that the woke media leads down the road that Disney would have you believe. Because as we all know, Disney, somebody whose early movies all included the bad character who had a nose like that and were all like obsessed with making deals. Like, yeah, he was woke. He was not an anti-Semite. He was not anything like that. He was a woke person. Quote, male bears actually kill their cubs, she tells the audience, which doesn't quite know how to react. I
Same here. I'm not too sure where to go here.
Can you imagine you're at a political conference and, all right, fantastic. This Candace Owens. All right. Bears kill their, okay. Bears kill their cup. Okay. All right. which doesn't quite know how to react. It's just like humans. She adds. But just before moving on, Camille, you're married. Are you planning to murder your firstborn child, or is that like a 50-50 situation?
I'm not saying anything until I'm like a bit more clear what is going on, like where we're going. I'm
you might kill your cop.
Let me hear what she has to say. I don't know.
I'm glad. I thought it's very unlikely that anybody would even say that, but okay, Candace.
I've never heard. I like to keep an open mind. Where this is kind of going. I'm a bit confused.
It's just Aztec people. Just before they sacrifice their child to the sun god, they always said, I like to keep an open mind. You never know how this thing could go. But yeah, anyways, it's just like humans, she adds. When a female bear gives birth and are nursing their cubs, they cannot go into heat. Quote finishes. And here comes the really weird part. She announces, if a nursing mother loses her cub, the lactation will stop and she will want... I'm sorry. I can't keep track. Lactation will stop and she will once again become receptive to breeding. So male bears kill their cubs for sex. Really? That's what it comes down to. So, by the way, that is the exact quote from her. She gave that a speech to a bunch of Republicans.
I mean, they're the ones who invited her.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, Camille, now, how about now? Are you gonna be? For your firstborn?
She makes half a good point.
Where is that? Okay, this is the article, not quote anymore. Okay, it turns out it's not just humans, but the point is that mama bears will fend off horny dads to protect their cubs. And that's just what conservative women are doing. They're fending off the likes of Anthony Fauci, who wants to inject their kids with never-ending doses of COVID vaccines, who instruct their parents to put a filthy cloth over the mouth of their innocent child, and who teach students, quote, to judge one another on the very basis of their skin. I mean, look, I'm not a big fan of Anthony Fauci. I think as soon as he said the whole, I am science thing, he was, as far as I was concerned, he was over. And even before that, he lied and all that. But what the fuck is she talking about? I have no idea.
Yeah, let's just stop here. I mean, I don't even...
What do you mean? You don't want to hear more from her?
Sure, read a few more quotes from her here and there, but I mean, if not, there's just...
Well, she talks about that,
I like this is one of those things, like someone tells you, right?
Oh, in Owens' description, the woke elite have a pedophilic tendencies. They're sexualizing children by asking them to think about their gender identity. I mean, come on, but yeah. Anyway, it's a variation of a theme that I keep hearing as I move from event to event at CPAC. Ben Carson, who was Donald Trump's...
We just move quickly to Ben Carson. Okay, put all that aside. Just go to Ben Carson's quote, please, right away.
I loved your reaction. You were like, oh my God. Oh shit.
No, just read Ben Carson's quote right here.
Call the SWAT team. Yeah.
Just read right there. From in preschool. This is apparently from Ben Carson. Go ahead.
Ben Carson, who was Donald Trump's Secretary of Housing and Urban Developments, described the progressives Gestalt, I don't know how to pronounce that, as child abuse. Granted, his examples don't quite seem to match the force of his metaphor. In preschool, quote, they have these books about these worms. They say the worms can be male or female. They make the worms seem like really cool individuals. What are they doing? They're planting the seeds. Oh my God, Camille. I hope when you have a child, you protect them from the stories about worms.
Okay,
and the fact that,
oh my God, this person wrote an entire book.
Oh, the person who wrote
Christ.
the article?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
the
article is good though. It's making fun of all the
I think the article is good, but it would have been maybe even better if it was just like a thread of all these quotes. Like, because you don't need like everything that she's writing, connecting the points. It would have been like all the messed up things that were said at, because he said this at CPAC as well, right?
Yeah. And I like to point out, just because I don't want to torture you anymore, but there is also sections regarding Danish D'Souza, one of the most reprehensible, like a leech. Like I'm sure actually I say that, but the leech community will be very angry at me, and I'm sure they'll sue me over this. But a real parasite and a leech, Danish D'Souza, like a most disgusting, uneducated piece of shit there can be. Really, there is a bit about him, so check that out for sure. Do you want to? Should I?
You can find. You can look at this is a part if you really want. But I mean, I'm just blown away.
Okay. I won't do the. All right. I read two parts. The last time I attended CPAC was in 1999. Back when it was held in a drab room in a Crystal City, Virginia hotel. Maybe then somebody bothered with placing American flag behind the podium. Certainly there was no swirling spotlight coming from the ceiling. No slick advertisement for Dinesh D'Souza documentaries playing between speakers. To get a small crowd with a good energy, college kids were bussed into town. It was like a middle school play compared to the Super Bowl halftime show that CPAC has become. So I just wanted to, talk about that.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So hold on right there, though. So her point is that, CPAC and stuff have even
become more commercialized.
For sure. Bigger, I mean, maybe it's less garbage, I don't know. Maybe this would.
No, the article is really good. The article is really good. I loved her bit about the whole fucking Candace Owens and her thing about bears and how dangerous the bears are.
That you saw, by the way, Candace Owens' interview apparently, right, with Trump's son.
Oh my God, that was great. I mean, the best part was when she asked, who do you want to meet? Like, who's your favorite person to meet? And he answered, who? Do you remember?
Yeah, he said Jesus, right?
Yeah, Jesus. and then she was like, what you going to ask Jesus?
Yeah,
and then he was
that was the funny part. What are you going to ask Jesus?
The election fraud in 2020. Not about the fact, meaning of life, God, the fact that there's a immortal being, all of that. No, the fucking, what happened? What God, what the fuck, man? Why did you let? All right, just because it was a great article, let me read the last paragraph. As he enters the room, every phone flips to its side, so that it can capture the moment in landscape mode, even though most in the crowds are witnessing a performance they've seen many times before. Trump has been coy about his intentions for 2024, but there has been enough chatter about his potential successor that he feels the time has come to crush their hopes. We did it twice. We'll do it again, Trump blares. We are going to be doing it again a third time. His intent is unmistakable. It brings the crowd back to its feet, arms punching the air. Lest anyone get any ideas, the moment is his and he's alone. And in the end, by the way, we most of our show is made to make fun of liberals and leftists to an extent, even that are so naive about stuff. But in a way, the naivest of the naive are the right wing. If you guys are the biggest suckers. You fall for this, guys, and we don't talk about it because it's just so fucking obvious.
Yeah.
But the suckers are just of the suckers. You fall for fucking, Chapo Trap House guys always talk about this, that Donald Trump gave a speech about hairspray to fucking miners in Wisconsin or something. and you're like, oh my god, how much of a sucker you can be. You're like, this guy is the most goody two-shoe CC piece of shit. Like, oh, the hairspray is not holding my hair as well. And then you guys, anyway, yeah, sorry.